All right, let's just go ahead and get to work, man.
Baseline.
Welcome to the Porch Podcast. Welcome to the Porch Podcast. It's your boy DJ E, Mr. Influential, and I'm rocking with my brother Man Hand.
P original, baby. P original. Glad to have the intro back, man. Glad to have it back. Glad to have it back. It's the simple things, you know. You miss the smallest things or what seems minute, you know. But in grand scheme of all of this, it's back and that's now we back on track. Yeah, man. Welcome to episode number 139, y'all. We're calling this one fast food.
Fast food. We calling
And
this one fast food.
fast food, baby. As you can see, my brother, if you can't see it, it's because you're listening to it in radio land. My brother's enjoying his dinner. It's late, hard day at work, and he still got to do what he got to do to survive. And in this
Right.
one, man, we're going to be talking about fast food, but not just in the way that you think. But before we get the party rolling on that, I want to open it up, man, with a thought of the day, man. And the thought of the day is pretty simple. You are what you eat. Once again, you are what you eat.
what's the dude name?
And out of respect for not trying to tear my man's name up, he showed it on the screen just a few minutes ago. But I want to say Athlame Relat Severin.
Okay.
All right,
All
we're
right.
gonna go with that Athlame Relat
Right.
Severin.
Right.
All right, and they believe that statement took place back in about 1826. The guy was a French lawyer. He
Mm-hmm.
actually was a lawyer, and basically the concept of wanting to live a healthy life, you had to have a healthy diet.
Right.
And in that particular context, I believe he was coming from the point of actually what you consume, right? What you eat,
Mm-hmm.
what you put in your body. And leads me to tonight's episode, man, what I believe that we actually need to focus on as we come up and deal, as we come up, but as we deal with the concept of you are what you eat, we do need to be mindful of not only things that we consume in terms of actual food, but our food for thought and our
Mm-hmm.
food for life and overall in general. So that's why I wanted to take it with that, but I wanted to lead it off with that particular thought of the day that you are what you eat. You know what I'm saying? You are what you eat. You know, I like to add a little bit to that situation by basically saying we produce what we consume in all aspects of life. That's just my perspective on it. But we
Absolutely.
produce what we consume in every aspect of life. All right. So let's just start there, man. I just wanted to kind of get you guys' minds in that particular frame of mind, so you can see where we're going with it.
Right.
But anyway, without further ado, Eve, how did your week go? Since last time we spoke, I'm quite sure you've had an eventful week since then. How's that been going, bruh? You know,
Very busy. Still regular 9 to 5.
mm-hmm.
Had a gig Thursday
Okay.
and a few gigs Sunday. I didn't do
Okay.
much Saturday at all, but take a nap.
Okay.
First day I was off from anything, probably like 2 months.
Yeah, Jay, like that piece of eating. Yeah, man. He living a hard
Mm-hmm.
knock life, man. Hard, the life of a hard working man just trying to find a way to get nourished, man. But yeah, it could be
Mm-hmm.
viewed.
Right.
Hey, peace, big bro. Welcome back to the show. Glad you guys both could tune in. We appreciate
Peace to
y'all.
both of you brothers, man. I'm just vibing with P today. I'm listening.
Yeah.
Strong.
So you had a lot of gigs. That's a great thing, man. Like you said, 9 to 5, hustling, doing what you had to do to take care of you and the family. And
Mm-hmm.
that's a great thing. Not anything particular, anything special. I know you guys did the. I saw some video of you doing a cigar Sunday, or I believe at Cooper's.
Right. Right.
Okay. Okay.
Right.
Well, what I saw, another beautiful event, man. Looked like it was a beautiful outcome. You know, uh, Looked like everybody was well entertained. You know what I mean? So once again, shout out to you and all the other brothers who was out there DJing that night, man.
Right. Right.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm looking at what you're saying too free. Exactly. We focus on food because bad makes us sick. Bad food makes us sick. I want to say it correctly. Yet we sadly normalize sick morals, principles, and standards. Wrong foods.
Right.
Absolutely. I
Right.
absolutely agree with that. Yeah. And that's what we gotta want to build on that tonight, man. We want to touch, kind of touch on these things because sometimes I think you got to make it simple and plain for it to be able to be obtained. I think in order for it to be able to be, soaked in and for people to take it for face value. So part of that situation, and just to conclude on that, bro, I'm glad you had a good positive week since the last week we spoke. I had a good one, you know what I mean? Like I said, blessed to be able to still be able to do it the way I want to do it. Had a few different events I went to. Some small little cookouts gathering type of situation. Obviously, we just came off of a long Labor Day weekend, so that
Always a
was
good time.
that was always a good time. Nice to be able to just enjoy family a little bit more. Um, Fantasy football is underway. We got the NFL that's getting ready to get started this Thursday, so definitely had a good time with all of that. But I want to kind of dig right into this or do a deep dive right into this concept that we're talking about tonight with fast food.
Right. Go ahead.
So, first and foremost, you know what I mean? Once again, just to reiterate what I said, we produce what we consume in all aspects of life, right? So, in the grand scheme of all of it, food is probably the easiest thing to make the adjustment on because you can do it instantaneously. You can sit there right now and make a conscientious decision to say that I'm never going to eat X, Y, and Z again because it's impacting my life in X, Y, and Z way. You can do
Right.
that immediately right now, right? You know, Truth be told, I looked at some statistics. I'm just going to put these numbers out there so you can actually know what they are, bruh. And to me, it's just mind blowing, but it just shows the power of advertisement and what's being promoted, like you said, free in the sense of what we see is
Right.
what we gravitate towards. Them. All
Right.
right, all right. So boom. Um, okay, so I'm gonna give it to you from fourth to first.
Okay.
Fourth, Burger King. In 2022, they made $1.9 billion.
Okay.
Okay. Wendy's in 2022 made $2.1 billion in revenue, right? Chick-fil-A made $6.4 billion in revenue. And the year before, in 21, they actually made $5.8 billion. And McDonald's was the number one. It made $23.18 billion.
That's more than food, man. That's cocaine. That's cocaine. Can't tell me
I
they
ain't
just
gonna.
the only ones. Everybody claim they don't like McDonald's, but they make 23 billion.
Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely.
Ain't no way.
Now, I'm not going to say that it's definitely that because I don't know. We don't know what the secret recipe of any of those
Speculation.
things are.
Speculation.
But that's a lot of
Speculation.
nuggets and a lot of fries. That's a lot of nuggets and a lot of
They
fries.
go
But if
down.
you collectively add over there, please, Don, welcome back. If you add all of those numbers up, okay, we're over $30 billion
Easy.
in fast food in 1 year. The point that I want to make in this situation, not only are you are what you eat, and we know that we're consuming the negative things and the things that cannot help us in any way or are not beneficial to us, but we are literally paying to kill ourselves in more than one way. We're just touching and scratching the surface dealing with the food element of it, but this is much deeper than that.
Right.
But I just wanted to put those statistics out there so y'all can see it. Well over $30 billion in 1 year in revenue these particular places have made. Now, I'm saying all of that because I want it to be known. If it's that simple, right? If it's that simple to do it with food, okay? With food. Come on, y'all. How much more simple is it to do it with anything else? Huh?
Got a point.
Music, movies, all these different things. You know how many times I've spoken to people, yeah, man, I don't listen to that anymore. I don't do that anymore, or I don't subscribe to that anymore because of the fact that it makes me feel this way about my life. But you'll go and you'll eat certain things that you know is you know, complicating things inside of you, making you feel ill, not allowing you to think clearly. Because, like you were saying before, Free, the more negative that you actually put into your body in any capacity, whether it's visually through your eyes, feet, and your mind, your ears, listening, or even the things that you're consuming. If you're not careful with those things, it can not only corrupt you physically in terms of your internal organs, but psychologically, it can mess you up as well.
I think the most effective thing is reading.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why I say that I think that we have to have the conversation in total, in full transparency, because I think a lot of what we talk about, right, is surface level things, and we don't go into the corners of the room sometimes because we're always wondering whether or not we're going to lose people or people are not going to want to, have the conversation. In order for you to have better, you got to do it overall. You
You gotta
can't
do
pick
better.
a piece. You got collectively though,
Mm-hmm.
right? You got to do better, not in just one particular thing. Like if you say, "Yo, I don't do this anymore." Me and you was talking one day, and I told you that, what I mean. I was like, "Yeah, bruh, I stopped. Let the beef go. All the other things that I had kind of cut." And you was like, "Yeah," you was like, "That's what's up, bruh. Be careful to not overconsume something else in its replacement."
Yep. Because that's what happened, I feel, to a lot of people. A lot of people, when they first quit pork, they started eating more beef.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah,
happened. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or when a person stops eating pork and beef and they eat a lot of chicken and turkey, they overdo it because it takes more of it to fill them up. But they still should have ate the same size portion.
No question.
You
Which
know what I
which is
mean?
a major part of it. First and foremost, I'm gonna look at it, right. We're gonna just use, like I said, we're talking about fast food. So obviously we're gonna have to be talking about our diets, right? What we intake into our minds as well as what's going into our mouths. Pause. Okay.
Ain't no need for
So
that. I know what you mean.
okay, all right, okay. Well, I'm just staying in, anyway, we need to just be, cognizant of those things. Now, I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say that most people aren't blindsided by what they're doing when they
JK, I
know
see you, brother.
that it's not being done in the correct manner.
Right.
Peace, JK. Welcome back, bro. Always a pleasure to have you. You know that, my brother. You know what I mean? We are not blindsided by the things that we subscribe to. Like I told you, bro, all that money I explained to you, that's money that they made. That means people were paying for the things that they knew had no productive
Was
value in
putting
their
them
lives,
down.
and they were doing it. And they knew it. Yeah, they knew it.
Same thing with alcohol. Same thing with drugs. You know?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right.
Like you
So I
said.
think we need to figure it out, man. I think we need to find a way to, Rome wasn't built in a day, but eventually was built. I think we need to figure out, you know what I mean? Because I think it's an individual thing. That's kind of where I was leading with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that we all look at these different things, whether we call them fad diets or we look at these different things that we try because somebody else has had a high level of success with it. But what we don't know is the prep work that goes into it, the discipline that goes into it, and more importantly, everybody has a different chemical makeup, not just in it as far as the things that they eat and how it physically affects them, but even their minds.
Right.
That's why I agree with you with the reading thing.
Well, I was about to say what it is I don't know if you ever pay attention, but they saying it's three different types of body types.
Okay.
You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Elaborate, brother. Break it down.
Um, Let me see. It says, hold on. I'm gonna give you the basic three. What is that noise?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Nah, but what's the basic three you looking for? It I know.
I'm about to tell you right now. I'm about to tell you right
Got you. Got you.
now. So you have ectomorph, endomorph, and
Okay.
mesomorph. You know
Okay.
what I mean?
Break them
Ectomorph,
down.
this is when the body is lean and slender and tends to have less body fat and muscle.
Okay.
So you slim brothers that no matter what they do, they stay slim. Women too.
Mm-hmm.
They stay slim.
Okay.
It don't matter, you know. Somebody remind me like mom, how mom was. You know what I mean?
No matter what. Yep.
Yep. So then you got endomorph.
Mm-hmm.
This is when the body has more stored fat, lots of muscle, and gains weight easily. Not to
Mm.
just pick on my boy, but that's Goose. That's Goose. He's an endomorph.
Okay.
A mesomorph It's a body. When this is when the body is athletic and strong. Now, that's just the quick ways to do it. But technically, a mesomorph is a person who has to be very careful. They can lose weight easy. They can gain weight easy. I've been told
Mm,
that I've had a mesomorph body type. You know what I
okay.
mean?
I got you.
Um, when I focus and want to lose weight, it go like this. If I turn around and say I want
Absolutely.
to gain this back, it go like this. So
Uh-huh.
a lot of your actors are pretty much like that. Like the dude that play Wolverine, they use him as an example.
Yeah.
You know what I
I
mean?
can't draw a blank on the name, but I see the face clearly.
I remember that when he was working on a new Wolverine movie, they was saying he was eating 8,000 calories a day so he can bulk up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
when you see them and they really focus on it, it's like
Yeah.
they're huge. So
Yeah.
I say that to say this. Just like you got body types,
Mm-hmm.
it's mental types.
Come
So you
on,
gotta
man.
learn what your diet can handle with your body type
Let's go.
and what your diet can handle with your mental type.
Let's go.
You know what I mean? I don't know the names for them, you know. But you
Mm-hmm.
got some people who could turn the switch on and off, you
Oh
know,
yeah. No question.
and they could be a talented person. For example, I'm a DJ, as we know. Sunday,
Mm-hmm.
I was DJing at Change Church in the morning, and then in that evening, I had another gig in between. But then that evening, I was at Cigar Sundays. Two different things. My mental had to go off from this to turn on to this, and then turn on to this, and turn off from that. You get what I'm saying? To stay focused on music wise of where I'm going. But you got to be in a state to understand that you want to keep being able to do anything or complete anything you do. But all that comes from feeding your head, feeding your mind. Because you got some people, that's usually for example, some people can read all day. Some people start reading, they fall asleep.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean?
Absolutely. No,
Right.
I agree.
Like you
Yeah.
said, Dom, an adaptable personality. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Nah. I think that what happens is like you just said. So, I'm a big proponent of the reality that in order for you to build new habits, you gotta go to things, and you once again, like I said, you gotta go into the corners of the room that you usually don't want to go into. And once you go in there, you'll discover that what you need to be and what you need to do has always been present. It just was tucked away, and you weren't dealing with it. I think a lot of times the reason why these things happen the way they do across the board is because we already know we live in a microwave world. Everything needs to be done in an instant. It's one of those things that I mean, you consistently look at and you start saying to yourself, well, I enjoy eating this. Well, I don't feel like cooking today, but I want to look like the guy that I see that's the athlete that has the physique and the body that I would like to have.
Mm-hmm.
I want to look at the athlete. You understand what I'm saying? So we live in a world where you can either do things that support the change,
Mm-hmm.
or we can self-sabotage.
Right.
And sometimes what happens is it's a combination of the both, because we get on these streaks. But once again, I think a lot of what takes place, and that's why we calling it fast food, is because we're always trying to feed ourselves very quickly, even though we're living in a world where you need to slow down and take your time.
Take your time, young man.
You know, you
Don't
need
you
to
rush. Oh, my
right.
bad. My
No,
bad. My bad.
you need to learn things. Man, you was about to do, man. I know you eat, man. You can't help it, man. It's just,
Live your life.
you know.
Live your
So
life. That was
yeah,
mom shit, man.
yeah. No, it was. No.
Mm-hmm.
But the point that I was making in that situation is that we got to consistently understand that life isn't supposed to happen in an instant. This is why a lot of times when you look at certain things, when you start thinking about like patience, patience is a virtue. That's what they say. You know what I mean? And we want a person to work with us, and we don't want to take the time to work with ourselves.
Right.
We want a person to slow down and show us, but hurry up and make us great.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? We want all
Well,
the things that we see the champions have, but we don't want to grow in the same ways that the champions had to grow.
you know what that concept is, though.
Break it
It's
down.
funny that we look at the title of the show. We call it fast food. And the first thing that first thing that was created to become fast that we wanted to adapt to in life was food. If you look at
Mm-hmm.
the history of fast food, it became a fad because you can get what you want fast.
Right.
But even when the original McDonald's had opened from the McDonald brothers, not Ray Kroc, but
Mm-hmm.
the McDonald brothers, they were literally cooking those burgers as they went. Remember they created
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
that whole layout and everything on how they did the stuff. So they
Yeah.
was eating burgers and fries. But the thing is, the thing why people were so happy with them, it was because it was fast.
Mm-hmm.
I said it the other day. I said the craziest thing that can happen is a pizza shop can get a drive-through window.
And they do have them.
Yeah, yeah, but not a lot of them. You understand what I'm saying? It's not as common
No,
as it.
not
Yeah,
as common. No, it's
yeah,
not as common
yeah.
as like your fast food joints. No,
Right.
absolutely not. Yeah.
But when people started being able to go through drive-through, like I can get this shit without getting out the car.
Mm-hmm.
Where? Like that's how they was, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's a situation of
Right.
convenience.
But my
And
point
then,
is that I'm saying
yeah.
that is they wanted to be convenient that fast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? To okay, I started this diet last month, bitch. I want to be down 37 pounds next week. Like it don't work like that.
Right. Right. Like there's a place, there's somewhere in between the desire to want to be something or be a different way, whether it's bigger, smaller, richer, you know what I mean? More well off in other areas of your life.
Hmm.
There's a space between there and the reality of the things that lead up to those things happening.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I've seen people go out and buy clothes and say, I can't fit this now, but I'm gonna work out and I'm gonna work my way into them. Cool. I
Yeah.
got nothing wrong. I have
Yeah.
nothing
That's
against the
gold.
person.
That's I do that. I do that. Gold
That's
clothes.
fine. That's gold. All right, so cool. I never even knew that was a title for it. For
I just
gold
made that up. I
clothes.
just made that up, and it
That's a
flowed. It was
most
rhymed
great
too.
minds. Most great minds work right there, just like that.
Like
Instantly.
fast food, but
You know what I
it's a
mean?
different if it's a different type. Sometimes you can deliver fast because you comprehended it fast. You see what I'm saying? So I
Absolutely.
understand the changes that happen. That's
Right.
why I can live my life.
Okay. See,
You know what I mean?
IG, you can't. So the thing is more or less, man. There's something that takes place between that desired thing and what you have to do to get there. I don't have anything wrong. There's nothing wrong with a goal driven person to say, I'm gonna buy this outfit. I can't fit it now, but I got, X amount of time and I want to work out and get ready and I want to be ready for my high school reunion. When is it? All right, it's next year. All right, cool. It's great. All those things are great. But we have to find a way to become disciplined, not just with the thinking of losing the weight, but how to deal with the consumption across the board.
Right.
Once again, it's easy to say, I don't eat that anymore. I don't do this anymore. You know how many people do things, and I'm not going to not put myself in it because I've been guilty of these things, who haven't done things until they're back in the company of other people who do things that they're comfortable with.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, whatever it is, it ain't always got to be a negative thing. You could talk about fast food in the sense of positive food. You can get around some people who are doing excellent in life. They're entrepreneurs, excelling in things that they want to excel in. And if you spend enough time around them people, it ignites that just like it's nothing inside of you. I got to get my stuff together. I got to start working on that thing I've been putting off. I got to start doing. You understand what I'm saying?
First thing you gotta do is stop driving up to the liquor store in Texas with Dom. That's what you gotta do.
Right. Right. I would
If
say,
I'm ever
man.
down in Texas, though, I got to experience this shit. I ain't even gonna lie to you. Part of Texas you live in again, Doc? Let me know, man. So when I come through, I must pull up. You know what I mean?
This
Get
guy.
up and get up this to Casamigos, please. You know,
Yes.
something like that. You know what I mean? I don't even drink Casamigos, man. Word is
Yeah.
bond.
Yeah. Yeah, man. But nah, I'm quite sure. I'm quite sure that there's a lot of different things like that all over the world. But no, but you understand what I'm saying? A lot of times the people that you wind up around sometimes, if you're not strong minded enough, strong willed enough, you'll fall right into the line of whatever they're doing.
Oh, okay.
You understand what I'm saying? So, like I
Hmm.
said, fast food, you know, outside of the scope of what we're talking about with the restaurants and all that, if you look deeper than that, it's not so much the food that's the problem, it's the person that's consuming it. Because see, the fast food place is only doing what other
That's
industries doing.
I can't say that. That's too much. That's too far. I can't say
Yeah,
that.
you eat. You all right, man? Like
Yeah,
what?
nah. I was gonna say something crazy, man. It was
I'm
like
glad you didn't, man. You ready to go, man?
it's not the person who puts it on the spoon. It's the one who lights it. That's what you was. I thought you was getting ready to say.
Why would you ever suspect that that was the thing that I was getting ready to say? First off, listen. Here's the thing with that situation. I can sit up here and act like I can blame all of these restaurants for making these things that we know it's not doing us any good.
Mm-hmm.
But their bottom line is their bottom line. They're doing what they're doing. They're a business. I'm not telling you to stop going to these places. I'm just telling you that the mindset that you need to have needs to be in alignment with the life that you want to have.
Right.
Right?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
No, you're
Stop
absolutely
playing.
correct.
Stop playing games with your own. With your reality.
You
Stop acting.
cannot be a baseball player if all you do is play basketball. That's not really. You don't want to be a baseball
Right.
player.
Right. Right.
That's all it is.
That's a good one.
Yeah, you
That's
know
a
what I
good one.
mean? Listen. If you want to be a boxer, you have to get in the ring.
Yeah. 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 But you know what I tell people? Before you can be any of those things, you gotta be an athlete first.
That's what but my point exactly, though, people. That's and you right because you going to the root, but that should be the given.
Yeah. 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 I see what
I
you're
know
saying.
that I do not want to be an Olympic swimmer. I know that, by I have no desire of it. None.
And yet you have enough sense to know that you're not gonna go around water playing or around the water where people feel like playing and be there. You're just
I
not
tell
gonna
you
do it.
what, if you play with me, when I get out, it's over.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right, well, just let's not play with E around the water. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, let's let's take care of something before we get too much deeper into the conversation. Listen,
Absolutely.
y'all know what we do each and every week, man. We try to make sure that we let y'all know that if you're ever in the event of a full service planning event company that can take care of all of your planning event needs, check out this company that we got for y'all. Listen, whether it's your first or your 50th birthday, that 25 years of service, if not more, retirement party, or the day that you and the love of your life share vows to become one, let Front and Center Events take care of all of your event planning needs. Sit back, put your feet up, and enjoy the show, where they truly keep you at the front and center of it all. That's www.fncevents.com. Head on over there today and get that party booked. Back to the show. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. Y'all make sure y'all check them out, man. Please,
Front
man.
and center events.
Front
Yeah.
center event. So that's the main thing, man. The food that we consume once again, you know, um, is what I want to say it again that I said earlier. We produce what we consume. If we want more positive things in life, if we want better outcomes, if we want better results and responses and all these things from our bodies, we have to consume better. It's
Beachy
simple.
talking about squaring up. I don't even know who she want to put on her back, but
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on. She talking about squaring up on styles.
Me too. All right, man. So,
Beachy.
one thing y'all got to know about E, man, E loves it, man.
Mm-hmm.
There's a part of E that just loves it all, man.
What do
E,
you mean?
you know what I'm saying? Sis ain't going out there, man. Michi ain't going out there to make
I
this
know
party
she
pop.
ain't going out there.
You know what I'm saying? I want
She's
you to.
telling. She's just talking about something back in the day. I know she ain't
Oh,
going out
okay. And
there.
I see what you're saying too. Yeah, me. You're right. You said I have behaviors that pop right up in specific crowds without a trigger. Yeah, and so that's the thing, right? If we learn how to kind of figure that part out,
That's
right?
why we don't be around them crowds no more, Meech. You know, we be around the sangria crowds, man. Know how we
Right.
do.
You got to put yourself in a position where you're actually like you're using foresight, right?
Right,
So you
right,
know that.
right,
So
right.
you guys are using foresight. You know what I mean? Obviously, you're in a situation where going there. One or two things has to be accepted. Either I'm not going to go there to prevent it from even occurring or the possibility of it, or I'm going there knowing that there's a possibility that it can occur. Sounds very similar, but it's one of the two.
Let me
Or
ask
you're
you.
going to find a way to be able to control it and not, and make the decision to be able to go anyway. What's up?
Let me ask you a question. So,
Sure.
do you drink wine?
I very rarely, but I have.
Okay. Are you a red wine or a white wine guy? If you have it.
I can drink either one. I think it depends on what it's paired with.
But do you have okay? So you don't have an actual choice
No,
that like okay. I
there's
know.
not a particular one that I would say is my go-to.
Okay.
No.
So I like red sangria, right?
Okay. Okay.
And the fact that I like red sangria, and then in the Bible they turn water into wine, keep the party going.
Okay. Right.
It was red, right?
I I wasn't there. Eh?
Do you think it was sangria?
I am very scared of where you're going with it. So personally speaking, I don't know what it could have been, but I know what you're referring to in the Bible. I don't know
Right.
what color the wine was.
Okay.
Okay.
So you don't have to be scared. So my point is that
Okay.
I'm making on the situation. Even in the good book, they had red sangria. I'm gonna call it that,
Okay.
right?
Okay. Okay.
When you get certain foods in your head, you have to ultimately remember that you still control the thought. So
No
even when
question.
fast food comes in,
Mm,
don't let that be your excuse on why you can't get yourself back in order.
okay.
Because in the
Okay.
Bible, where they was teaching us a story, they had the red sangria, and they had that special one, Michi. They had the special one, Michi, the one we always get that people don't know about. That red sangria, that's like that's the one that should be bottled and sold. We're not gonna speak on it, but you know which one I'm talking about at the
Sound like you
parties.
talking about it. Sound like you talking about it.
She know which one I'm talking about. That's why she throwing the thumbs up.
Sound,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So all
I
I'm
like.
saying is,
Right. Right.
all I'm saying is,
Mm-hmm.
be careful what you put in your digestive system, right?
Mm-hmm.
Be careful but you have to understand what your metabolism can hold. You
Right.
know?
Right. Right. So you
Yeah.
so we already know our minds and our bodies are already finely tuned. It's us that can damage them.
Mhm.
Right. And I think like you're saying, just to add credence to what you were saying in terms of the wine and the concept of that situation from the biblical perspective, it really comes down to, like you said, even with consuming the fast food, it comes down to the discipline that takes place overall, period. I think that we believe that discipline is only supposed to take place at one particular point, right? And I want to make sure I'm crystal clear on this. I'm not saying that you only need to be disciplined before you consume it or whether or not you should consume it and use discipline and not eat it at all. What I'm
Right?
going to say is that discipline has to be addressed. It has to be strengthened. It has to be worked on
Right.
consistently.
Mhm.
You can change anything, what you consume, what you think, what you listen to, what you subscribe to, very easily if you're disciplined. If you're undisciplined, it doesn't matter.
Right.
You're just going along with the flow, whatever. This is why, like I said, once again, if you're in the company of certain situations or in certain environments, this is why it's so much easier to just fall right back into it.
What you have to do is you have to understand and learn the tolerance of your discipline. You have to
Mm-hmm.
understand what the triggers is that trigger your discipline.
Mm-hmm.
For example, let's say you're a person that cooks and you enjoy cooking and you're in the business of wanting to lose weight. So what you should start doing is you start looking at healthy options that you actually like, but then look at recipes using certain things to actually make, oh, if I change this to this would be healthy and I could do this and do that. And then you actually listen to things that influence you to want to walk and work out and do these type of things. So you it's your food for thought. You teach yourself. So you
Absolutely.
giving yourself about a diet. Like listen to YouTube or read books or anything that just anywhere you want to better your life at.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You
Yeah, now
know.
we do it all. You know why I say that?
Yeah.
Because unconsciously we do it the other way.
Right. That's what I was to say. Because most things that negatively impact our thoughts aren't things that we're seeking. It just happens because it's around the world. It's all around it. Know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah. Now I just see what you said. All right, yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, you see, you just had to apologize to someone for understanding my blessing from God and mishandling it by being undisciplined. I wanted it my way. Basically, yeah, we live in a world where we're not perfect, but we do live in a world where we have to acknowledge it like you do, and then that's how you make the corrective actions take place. Once we accept the fact that we're flawed, then we can fix them, right?
Right.
Once we can accept the things that we know that we have to be more disciplined in, identify them and don't run away from them or try to pack them into a corner some way or sweep them underneath a rug, we can do better with them.
Right.
You know what I mean? So most of the things that we're talking about are all things. I don't think me and E are saying something that is this super amazing, wow, really type of situation. But when you sit back and you think about the over 30 plus $billion in revenue that these places have generated, basically just sitting back, just feeding you whatever they felt as though they wanted to feed you, and you actually went out and spent your hard-earned money on it. I'm just pointing out that if it's that easy to do it with food, why wouldn't it be assumed that it can be that easy to be done with anything else?
Well, first of all, we pay attention. We only eat a lot of these fast food places because they're quick, they're fast, and they're never planned most of the time. They're last minute.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason why we even stumble upon them and go to these places is because of a lack of preparation on our end.
Come on.
So we still had we still have dominion and everything over the situation to the point where I haven't had McDonald's, Burger King, Wendy's, Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, KFC, Sonic, anybody you could think of like that.
Mm-hmm.
For let's see now exactly. Hold on, I'll tell you exactly how many days in the last.
That's a good word. Great big word. Preparation. I love it. Love it. Love it. Hey, I'm just saying. We're talking about determination, preparation. Think about all these words we're talking
So
about.
it's been 144 days.
That's outstanding. Clap it up for yourself for that, bro. Give yourself, see? Acknowledge that. Acknowledge that. For
144 days.
For 144 days, not only have you been disciplined enough to not going to consume that to which you said that you were not going to consume anymore, but you sharpened your skill set and ability for preparation, dedication, and consistency.
Right.
More often than not, when we take something off of the table that is moving towards or contributing towards our downfall, or things that keep us from getting to the next level of greatness,
Right.
it actually increases, right, or makes better the other things that we have been ignoring.
Right.
That's why it's always been said, the absence of one thing is the presence of another.
Absolutely.
And that's why when you took off the table those things like you said, all those fast food places that you named, one of the things that you said before that was different things that you can eat that taste great, that is healthier for you and better for you. You led with that.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I know that we are fully capable of breaking the concept of relying, right, on fast food as our go-to situation.
Right.
I was actually driving back home from the grocery store. I went and picked up some things I was going to prepare a meal. And on my way back home, I started thinking. I said that I can remember when going to these places like a McDonald's and all those other things was a treat. It was a treat. It was something that you did on an occasion. You understand what I'm saying? It was a treat, not like a treat.
Yeah, that's why you was excited when you got there.
You was excited when you got it. Mm-hmm. Our kids now, they don't view it as a treat. They view it as the go-to thing. And every now and then when we eat something at home or however that's prepared in your household, that's just a day off away from the thing that we normally consume.
Right.
Everything. If you start consuming fast food, you got to start thinking from a fast food perspective.
Right.
That means I don't care what they're doing to make it. I don't care what they're putting inside of it. It's the same way that you go about your life. You'll stop caring about the things that you consume in terms of what you read, what you watch, who you're around, what you listen to. You'll stop. It won't matter.
Yeah, I'm around a lot of people. I don't listen to them anyway. Live your life.
Right. But do you see what I'm saying with the situation? This
Absolutely.
is what happens. It triggers into that.
Well, first of all, anytime a person goes to a rehab facility, they're actually different multiple ways. It's for them to get better.
Absolutely.
Bottom line. That's why it's rehabilitation. You know what I mean? Even when they lock people up, they look at it, they call it rehabilitation. You know what I mean? It's supposed to get better. But the problem is a lot of times depends on where you at. So if a person, let's say a person goes somewhere off of narcotics, they remove them from that area. But the ones that become more successful is the ones that they set up in a new area where nobody knows something because they can't go back into their comfort zone. Because what we do is when we lose weight, it becomes uncomfortable for us to become comfortable. But then once we become comfortable in that weight again, we start to eat the other shit because we think we stuck right there. Like
Mhm.
we're good. I'm good where I'm at. I can do what I want. You know.
Right.
But you have to be consistent with the things that actually led you there. And that's why tomorrow I'm back on mine completely. You know.
Absolutely.
That's how it is.
I think we just got to pick which end of the spectrum that you want to start on, right? Now, personally speaking, I think that some people are wired to have to become more disciplined in the mind before they can start dealing with discipline and what they consume and how they're going to diet and the things that they're going to critique and change in that. And then you got some people that work from the other angle, right? They have to see the results to believe that it works, and then after that, they can stay consistent.
Right.
This is why you have certain people that can turn around and you say, "Oh wow!" Like in your case, you haven't eaten fast food in 144 days. You can go out with 3, 4 of your homies. You know what I'm saying? They want to stop at Chick-fil-A, and you cool. Now I'm good. I ain't getting nothing. Y'all go do your thing. And
Right.
you stop and get something from wherever else that you would get something from, whatever you would consume. You may be built that way. You may be designed and wired to be that way. Then you
Right.
got other people that have to come at it from the other perspective. I just can't be around those people. I can't be around that situation because I don't feel like my discipline is strong enough.
Right.
Yeah, those people, only thing I can say is as long as you feel weak and think weak, you'll be weak.
Hmm.
The minute that you understand strength, respect strength, and build strength is the minute that you become stronger.
Right.
It's not complicated. It's what it is. I'm not going to say it's easy. I said it's not complicated. And there's a difference. There's a difference between something being easy and not complicated.
Absolutely.
Things become easy when you do it, you perfect it, and you consistently do it. It becomes easier for you to do it.
This man preaching today, and I'm just a deacon E over here, deaconess,
Now,
deacon.
it becomes uncomplicated when you stop making it complicated. When you
Right.
stop fighting against yourself. When you stop relying on the fast food of life to feed you when you are so much more capable of feeding yourself the
Right.
correct way.
This boy preaching.
Everything that we deal with in this situation, whether you get the education or not, is geared towards money. We'll spend it over 30 something $billion on fast food places. Go pay our copay at our doctors for our doctors. We give them $10 to $15 or whatever your copay is, for them to tell you what you already know.
Right.
We go to these different counselors or different people, and we explain to them what's going on in our lives for them to tell us what we
I
already
make
know.
sure next week I gotta make sure I got my organ and shit over here, so he can know that because right now you preaching, bro. You really are.
I'm just saying, bruh, sometimes, you know what I mean, when you look at things and it's not complicated, but we all growing. And when you grow, you're supposed to be able to share, your growth and what you
Hmm.
experience and the things that you're going through. You know what I mean? So, you know, thanks, Dom said church, huh?
Yeah.
But
What was it earlier? Somebody had the blower motor. What happened? Blower motor. What we was saying?
blowing
Blower motor. What we was saying earlier, man? Something.
before we started the show.
Yeah, earlier today.
Oh man,
Yeah.
I can't.
Blow power mode. Blow power mode instead of low power mode.
Yeah, yeah,
Blow
yeah.
power mode. I'm
Low
like
power mode.
blow
Yeah.
power mode.
So it's crazy. It's you know what made me really notice it too, bruh? And I don't know if you've seen it. Think about how many people that you know have like moved and relocated and went other places
Right.
and done extremely well.
Because they don't have as many fast food joints and different joints of that nature. You know what I mean? And
Right.
if they're not going to eat it, then they're just going to cook more. You know.
And I think that once you understand that it's also environmentally based as well, like you're saying, it's not available to you, right? So it's not
Right.
easily accessible, right? Because some people have to build up strength and discipline by putting themselves in position that they know that they can't have it. Like they have to literally confine or restrict themselves is a better word. They have to learn how to restrict themselves from certain things by not putting themselves in a position where it's easily accessible
Right.
until they can build up that mental strength and capacity to be able to even be right next to it and have no desire for it.
Right.
For those people, I still applaud them because at least they're recognizing what they need to do to get better. For the people who are just settling on the things that they've always settled on and not having a realistic, look on life, or having false, how can I say, hopes and dreams about certain things, you know, it, I don't know what to tell you other than the fact that that's not going to be something that's going to lead to success. So
It's the
I
key
just
to
feel,
life.
I just believe that, honestly speaking, man, we are fully capable of all of these things. Fast food in all capacities is something that we have the power and the ability to be able to control.
Well, it's what we just it's this, P, on the screen. You are what you eat. Bottom
That's
line.
it. You
That's
are
all
what
it
you
is.
eat.
You are what you eat, man.
You are what you eat. And once again, as I said, to continue, to be a continuation to it, we produce what we consume in all aspects of life. If you want to produce great things, you're going to have to consume great things. If you continue consistently, you know, consume trash, I ain't trying to be funny, but you're going to produce trash.
Yeah.
It don't take no time for us to feel different, think differently. Think about all the stuff that you did. When you learn something new, you can't wait to apply it. You understand what I'm saying? Like for me personally, bro, when I learn something new or read a new book, I can't wait to apply that to my life.
You know what it is? That's what it is now. When we was kids, when you learned the code to the video game, you couldn't wait to apply it. At that time,
Yeah,
that was food for thought for what you were trying to do. So it's what I'm saying is his levels and things change.
absolutely.
But the reason why diet and weight and all this is so important because like I was saying in the beginning of the show, like for example, I go nonstop.
hmm
And
hmm
what I ate right there was just a last minute thing because I knew I had to do something. Because I'm gonna probably get back to fasting tomorrow, a
hmm
little bit and all that. Still have my water, my coffee, and all that. But my
Right.
point is, I didn't prepare for today the way I should have.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
usually when you're not disciplined in the area somewhere, I'm telling you, it's linked to preparation.
Every time.
You know what I mean? Because you didn't prepare yourself for that moment.
This is why you went right there and you said it immediately. You said I didn't prepare for it.
Right.
And then the next thing that you said is I'm getting back on it tomorrow. You're already preparing yourself. You're literally saying, which is creating the preparation thought and mindset that I'm going to do it tomorrow. You've already psychologically started the preparation process, which is going to translate into the next things that you need to do physically.
Right.
This is why as we age, you know what I mean, we get older and stuff like that, like we start to gravitate towards people who not only give us positive vibes and positive energy, but also are very much comfortable in who they are. They're very much comfortable. So, like when you get around a person that is doing something with themselves, it's not hard to be around that person, man. It's not difficult. It's not, to me, once again, it's not difficult. Life is about being easy and complicated, right? I think that it's easy to do a lot of things in life. We just have to uncomplicate things to be able to satisfy a lot of the other challenges that we have. And
This
like I
is
said,
true.
and a lot of it is just based on the same things. Once again, preparation and discipline. So I totally agree with you 100%. We're going to get into some questions if that's what you want to do, man.
We can go ahead with it. Let's go
Uh,
ahead with it.
all
Which
right,
one?
y'all.
Which
Whoever,
one we doing?
we're going to do this or that, brother, this or that.
Welcome to another episode of This or That. When you don't know what's this or it's that, but either way, I'm going to come back with something. Either this or that. Let's get to it.
As he said, welcome to another episode of This or That, where I ask you a series of questions and he gives me his answer. And every now and then,
It's
you know
ampler.
what I mean? If it's
She's
a
about
good
to
one,
say.
I'll chime in and give you mine as well. For those who are watching, you know what I mean? Please leave it in the comments, your responses to the answers as well. We love entertaining that as well. All right, hang out on the porch. No, it's both of them the same thing. So hang out on the front porch or the back porch. Wow.
Depends what house I'm at.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
And there's a lot of times in the suburbs, I'm in the back,
Okay.
low. In the front, in the city, we out front.
hmm
Yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah, I go. Yeah, I go.
I agree. I agree for the exact same reason. How about that? I agree a little bit, literally for the exact same reasons. Um, this is so opposite end of the spectrum, but I would love to see it anyway. Help someone walk across the street or start a transportation service. I understand why the question is this way. Once I consumed it the right way, but what's your response?
Transportation service. I can't get no write-offs walking somebody across the street. I
So I
would
agree
though,
with that.
but I would walk them across the street. Let's make
So
this clear.
yes, I think it's both, right? Like we talk about all the time. I think helping somebody across the street in that situation, I think it ignites the thought process that, hey, maybe I could start as, an actual transportation service. Might not be a bad thing.
That remind me of David. May you rest in
hmm
peace. Used to play the drums.
Okay, okay,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah. You had to help David across the street because his sight wasn't the best.
okay. Now this, this requires a certain level of discipline. Michi, you were saying something about it earlier, but I'm just going to ask the question. Apologize first or wait for someone to say sorry to you.
Oh, I have no problem apologizing first because I don't want to live in the shit. I want to keep it moving because apologizing is not for the other person. You know what I mean? It's for you, just like forgiveness is for you. We
Okay,
may want forgiveness, but if a person chooses not to forgive you, are you going to die that day? No, you're just going to keep going and say, well, I did my part.
okay. I got you. I'm going to share in this. I'm going to say that first and foremost, apologizing first, just to reiterate the question, or wait for someone to say sorry to you. Um, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I think that, like, first and foremost, you have to realize that it's for you. Number one. The other thing is I can't allow it to fester because I don't see I don't see the healing element or the possibility of getting past it unless it's being confronted. If that makes sense to you. So if I need to initiate the situation by apologizing first, I have no problem with that because I want to get beyond it. You know what I'm saying? That's my response to that situation. Um, hmm. Be considered musical or considered mechanical.
I'm musical already, man. I already know that.
Okay. All right. All right. Be the fix it person. The fix it person or be everyone's shoulder to cry on.
I done been both.
Okay. Which one did you prefer?
I would probably say the shoulder
Okay.
because I think that's where they need you the most. A lot of times we fixing it be other people's problems, but we make it our problem because we may actually sit there and this might affect a paycheck or something. This is why I got
Mm-hmm.
to be fixed, right? But in
Mm-hmm.
all actuality, when a person is crying on your shoulder, you're actually trying to get them some advice to fix them. Now, they're both very similar though, because some
Okay.
people may cry on your shoulder because they need something fixed.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I go.
So I've necessarily had to be the fix it person. Probably like most people in life. I think if you live long enough, you encounter both. Obviously, um, if it comes down to it, if I'm the shoulder to cry on, that means that you're confiding into me.
Right.
And by confiding into me, you know what I mean. You may want more than something to just be fixed. You may need something else.
Right.
You know what I mean, in a sense, to be able to help you. Not only get past that situation, but build and get stronger. Um, you rather work for the news or be on the news? That's great.
It's the Porch Podcast to come on.
Okay. So what's the response to that? Which one, brother?
We working the news. We are the news.
Okay. All right, all right, all right. Know how to take a good no, okay, know how to take good notes or know how to fix a car.
Fix a car.
Not even close. Not even close, man. Yeah, not even
If I
close.
became a mechanic, whew, Lord, I'd be the man.
Okay. All right, leave this one in the comments, y'all. And definitely interested in this response. Be known as a kind person or be known as a resourceful person.
I think I'm known as both of them. I'm a pretty kind guy, but I am resourceful.
So you could
Clip to
be a
to clip.
you
See what I'm
could be
saying?
exactly. You could be a
Resourceful.
kind person, but not be able to impact or help or make things better or contribute. You just cool. I'd rather be resourceful. I'd rather be the person that, you don't just call on me, obviously you're in trouble, whatever, but you value what I can contribute to a situation as well. So I'd rather be resourceful than just being, a kind person. I think most of those people wind up actually, indirectly becoming that way anyway. But, okay. Be known as an active person or be known as a communicator.
Uh, I'm probably known as a communicator, so communication's fine because I'm happy with who I am.
Hmm.
You know, that's why
Hmm.
I speak like that. You know,
Okay.
I don't mind speaking.
No, no question. No question. Nah, hey, man. And, you definitely can do it well. So I think that it's open for both of those options. But I see what you're saying. All right. First and foremost, I ain't talking about the apocalypse or Walking Dead type of situation, nothing like that. But I'm just gonna put it out there. In the front lines of a crisis or help from, would you rather be in the front line of a crisis or help from the background?
Depends on the problem, man. If I got to fight zombies and shit like that, I'm in the back, P. I don't really care about all trying to get away, man. You
Well,
know,
I think it's a very good question and interesting.
where you at with the zombies? Front or back?
Man, I think that
Superhero
most of my
nigga right here.
life, most of my life,
Here you
I've
go.
been in the front line. I just let's be
Yeah.
completely
He
honest.
just want to
If
punch a zombie
no
in the
no no
face.
no
Come
no,
on, man. That's
if you
all.
had okay
P,
okay,
them zombies ain't fucking with me, man. I'm not bothering them, man. I'm
not
in
a
the
problem.
back.
All I'm
I'm in the
saying to
back.
you is
Now, if
this.
you need somebody to do a speech and talk to a bunch of people, you can put me up front. We just talking to the zombies. I'm up. I'm your guy. I'm not fighting something that's already dead, man. You can't kill it. It's already dead.
All right, okay. So let me
It
ask you.
don't bleed, man.
Okay, so
If it
what?
bleeds, it can die. If it's not bleeding, it doesn't. It don't matter what you do. P, you can punch that shit with all your might. You can shoot him with the bazooka, and the next thing you know, he just lift. He go like this. Look, he come back up like this. Come on, come on. Like what you gonna do?
First off, okay. You already answered where you think that I would be anyway. It is what it is. I think we are who we are by nature, man. Now I'm learning to
Right,
not underestimate what people speculate about the background support.
right.
So
Now it depends on the
sometimes, even
situation, though.
even you said that. That was your response. You said it definitely depends on the dynamics or the situation. I'm going to say that I don't think nobody's in a rush to die from the zombies. What I'm saying is in most cases, you got to
Somebody
know
is.
where you're going to be more beneficial, right? You got to know where you're going to be more beneficial. I had to learn to appreciate the help from the background position. I had to learn that. I had to learn that there was a way that I can actually not only be supportive from the background, but also be a warrior when necessary.
It's
I
singing
get
in the background.
Oh man, this guy, man. I hear you, Dom. Dom says she in the background too. I'm
Mm-hmm.
trying to get better at that right now. If it started today, I'm up front because I got to make sure my brother is safe in the back. So I'm up front trying to keep him, hold him
Just
down.
come on, kick it in the back with me, P. We could just leave, man. That shit ain't got nothing to do with us, man. That same shit ain't got a motherfucking thing to do with us. And you
Okay,
want
all
to go up
right.
front like, man, what y'all
No, no,
doing,
no,
man?
no, no,
Why
no.
y'all bothering these people, man? You better not touch E here in the back. I'll be like, P, come on, man. What you, they ain't even talking to you, man. What are you doing? Let's go.
Yeah. All right. All right, I'm just gonna leave this. This gonna be the last one, right? This gonna be the last one. E. Gotta love him. Yeah. Go out and meet new people or let
Okay.
them let them come to you first. Go out and meet new people, or let them come to you first.
I've used to let people come to me first because sometimes when you grow up in certain areas, you be like approaching people first seems weird. Like
Mhm,
they were like, what time, what type of time a man on, you know what I mean? But then
mhm.
as you get older and start to realize the crowds and the areas that you be in, you will put yourself out there to network. So it all depends on but I could say more than ever put myself out there to meet new people.
Absolutely. I'll finish. I'll give my response, and then we can wrap that one up. I'm gonna say the same thing. Listen, most of the time, I think initially, um, the environment played so much a part in the decision on whether or not I wanted to pursue and move that way. I think at this stage in age in my life, if I'm in a room full of people who are doing productive things, I've learned that you can't wait for production to come and find you.
Right.
You can't wait for those great things that you want to do with your life to come and seek you out. So I have to be, you know, uh, not aggressive, but I need to get beyond my comfort zone, which I'm not comfortable with speaking to anybody, and make sure that I don't sit back on my heels just thinking that I need to wait and be patient and let somebody just come to me like I'm gonna wait on my turn, because the party will be over and I won't be able to establish anything, and then I'll be done missing an opportunity. So I'm at a place in my life where everything, the environment, all those things matter. And that's exactly what I would do if I was in a place where I could be productive, gain some new connections, do some networking. I'm not sitting back waiting. I'm making that connection. Other than that, I'm really not too much in those areas anymore. That would be counterproductive anyway.
Right.
Other than that, you could take me out of that joint, take us out of that joint, brother.
That's over, man. That's all I gotta say. That shit is over. That's it. So I want to thank y'all for tuning in to episode 139, Fast Food of the Porch Podcast.
Yes,
Of the
sir.
Porch
Yes, sir.
Podcast.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
As y'all
Yes.
know, y'all can find us on any of your favorite podcast and streaming sites, whether it's Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, Radio Public, Red Circle, iHeartRadio, Audible. And where can they see us, P?
Each and every week live on Tuesday. We always make the announcement, a little bit before the show gets ready to get kicked off, but you definitely can always see the replay immediately following thereafter. And definitely on Thursdays at 7 p.m. on our YouTube channel at The Porch Podcast
Yeah,
on YouTube. You can definitely check us out there as well. Make sure you guys been, check out our social media sites as well. Definitely on Instagram. E flashes it all the time. The Porch, podcast on Instagram.
that's the Porch
Um,
30.
exactly, the Porch 30 on Instagram, and you can follow us also on Facebook. At the Porch Brothers on Facebook. So, hey
Yeah.
man, like he said, it's been a great episode as always. Appreciate you guys rocking out with us each and every week. Please, as we keep saying, tell a friend to tell a friend. If you have not done so already, please like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you know when all of our content is dropping. And please keep on tuning in and enjoy the show. This has been episode number 139, Fast Food. And we look forward to seeing y'all next week, man. Appreciate y'all stopping by, man. Y'all have a good rest of the evening, man.
All right now.
All right, family. All right, peace.
Peace, 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 peace. AP, did you put the